Hello and welcome to Three Questions with. Got my buddy Nick with us from Aflac. Nick, good afternoon. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it, Kevin.
So Nick, I asked you to come on the show today because sometimes when people hear Aflac, they think health insurance. It's not one and the same, right?
That is correct. So Aflac is not health insurance. Health insurance pays the hospital, and they have a tendency to leave you with a deductible or a copay or a co-insurance, right? Aflac is actually a supplemental benefit. So Aflac will pay cash directly to the policyholder when they need it the most. And it's up to the discretion of the policyholder what they want to use that cash on. You know, you could use it to help you with your mortgage, any car payments, grocery bills, or maybe you need someone to drive your kids to school. So it's up to you to decide how you want to use that money. And of course, you can use that money to assist you with those co-pays and deductibles and co-insurances as well that the health insurance leaves you with.
Nick, I think that's an amazing point because when we think about, God forbid, something happening to us, we forget about everything you just said. Still have to buy groceries, still have to get my children to school if that's my case. So
Yep.
having that additional money really helps with all that stuff that I've seen this all the time. You're just like, oh my God, I forgot. I still need to pay these additional bills. That's what
Yep.
comes in, right?
So a sobering statistic is that 60% of bankruptcies in the United States are because of medical bills. And the natural inclination is to think, well, that's because those people who filed for bankruptcy because of medical bills didn't have major medical health insurance. And that is actually a misconception as well. Out of those 60% who did file for bankruptcy because of medical bills, 80% of them actually did have major medical health insurance. And I think a lot of times, to your point, we do think, oh, I have health insurance, I'm fine. And the truth is that that's not the case. If you are actually using your health insurance, it's probably not for a good reason. And there's certainly going to be instances where you may be out for an extended period of time and unable to earn an income. And so when you already have those deductibles, co-insurances, co-pays adding up, and now you're also not working, and maybe perhaps you need to be paying more monies out elsewhere, someone else to do your landscaping, someone else to clean your driveway, like we mentioned before, someone else to drive your kids to school. And this is how really quickly you fall into a position where you're saying, it's bad enough that I broke my leg, or it's bad enough that I'm undergoing chemo or radiation for cancer treatment. I may actually be evicted.
Yep, it's kind of scary. The last thing I want to talk about is sometimes when people hear about Aflac, they're like, that's intriguing to me. But we step back, Nick, we're like, is it like health insurance? Is it hundreds and hundreds of dollars? Not the case, right?
Nope, not at all. For an accident plan, you could be looking anywhere between $5 and $7 a week. For a cancer plan, you could be looking at anywhere between $7 to $9 a week. Short-term disability, which is essentially paycheck protection, and life insurance as well. We all know what life insurance is. Of course, the cost there will vary, relative to how much coverage you decide to opt into. You have a critical illness plan as well. You're looking at anywhere between, $3 to $5 a week for that as well. That would, yield payments for any heart attack or stroke or, renal failure, coma, paralysis, organ transplant, anything like that. So all these are niche policies, and you can select the ones that you think resonate with you the most, and would give you the best protection to protect your health and your finances that your family needs.
That's what's neat about it. You can pick what coverage you want. Because maybe one of those you mentioned, it's not relevant to me. I don't think I'm going to get impacted by that. But hey, I want to pick this one. So you just pick what you want. You can have multiples, right?
Exactly. So me personally, I'm obviously enrolled in accident plan number 1. I got 2 kids. They both play sports 4 times a week. They're 9 and 10 years old. I myself do about 150 to 200 hours a year of landscaping around my house. I got a 160-foot driveway that I'm trying to keep clear of snow. So all the slip and falls, you can think about the emergency room visits for my kids that, could happen. I'm paying $14 a week to cover my entire family of 4 on that. My wife, unfortunately, her mother had breast cancer, and she's got 2 aunts on her dad's side that also had cancer. The cancer plan was a no-brainer for us. Again, about $14 a week to cover an entire family of 4 with the cancer plan. My dad, his father died of a heart attack. His sister died of a heart attack. His nephew, my cousin, who's about the same age as me, 42 years old, has 20% left function of his heart. critical illness. That's a policy that I enrolled to and covered my family for right away. So those are 3 Aflac policies that I invest into obviously in addition to already having health, dental, and vision through my wife's employer.
Yep, makes perfect sense. So now individuals can buy Aflac because a lot of times we think about it, it's supplemental from work, but you don't get it through work though, right?
So that's a great question. So I primarily work with employers to make Aflac supplemental benefits available to their employees via payroll deduction. Now, the benefit of setting it up through the employer is that these policies are going to come at about a 25 to 50% reduction in cost.
Nice.
So anybody that asks me about Aflac, if they were, hypothetically to knock on my door as a civilian and ask me for it, of course, I'm happy to set up for them. We can certainly arrange for it to be set up directly, but it is going to be a little bit more expensive. So the first thing I always ask somebody is, hey, do you think you could introduce me to the person who oversees the benefits package where you're employed? Perhaps we can make Aflac available through your employer where you'll get it at a reduced rate. But if that's not the case, in some case they're self-employed or unemployed, in that case, of course, I'm going to work with them directly and, we'll get it set up that way, albeit at a slightly higher cost.
All right. So I know we've got a couple extra questions, but I do have one more because that's
no problem. Ask away.
Like you said, it's an amazing benefit for employers because it doesn't cost employers anything. And it's showing your employees that you care about them. Hey, if all this is important to you, we're offering this benefit. Like I said, it doesn't cost the employer anything, and it makes them look like a good person, right?
Yeah, well, especially now, this video is being recorded on October 13th of 2022. We all know about the Great Resignation and how difficult and the challenges with hiring. But a lot of businesses at the same time are saying, yeah, we're having challenges hiring. And, the natural inclination is to say, hey, let's just raise the wages. I mean, how many businesses out there can just say, oh, let's pay, $25 an hour instead of $18 an hour, and you're going back and forth on wages. Why not expand your benefits package, make Aflac available as part of your benefits package at no cost to the employer? Or even if you wanted it to, as an employer, there is the option, certainly you can contribute as well and pay for, a portion of the Aflac benefits that your employees roll into. Maybe you're an instruction company or a construction company or a landscaping company, and you buy your employees an accident plan. You're not breaking the bank at all by doing that. We're talking, $7 a week.
Yeah, that's absolutely. So, all right, Nick, what's the best way for people to reach out to you? How can they learn more, my friend?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, you can reach out to me via email is really the best, and that's nick_distelbrink@us.aflac.com, or you can reach me directly on my cell phone, 978-273-4489.
Nick, I appreciate you taking a couple of minutes to call into the show, and as always, thanks for being my friend.
All right, thank you, Kevin. I appreciate it.